Barcelona had just completed one of their best seasons in recent memory. According to analysts, they won La Liga, secured two domestic cups, and appeared to be a team revitalized. Yet, despite all their domestic brilliance, the European dream slipped through their fingers. They were eliminated in the Champions League semifinals by Inter Milan, not due to a lack of talent or tactical errors, but because they simply ran out of energy. Observers noted that if Hansi Flick was to guide this team to European success next season, he would have to address one significant issue: squad depth. Commentators highlighted how Barcelona had been dominant in Spain. They played sharp football, applied intense pressing, and showed consistency rarely seen in recent years. Young players rose to the occasion while veterans held the line, and Flick instilled a tactical structure that largely worked, at least within domestic competitions. But once they stepped onto the European stage, the cracks began to show. The semifinal against Inter served as a turning point. By extra time, the team appeared exhausted. It wasn't a matter of quality. They simply lacked sufficient options off the bench to shift momentum. It was clear Barcelona's first 11 was strong, but over a long, grueling season, the bench was just as crucial. Without adequate reinforcements, the team risked burning out again. Analysts pointed out that while Barcelona's squad was rich with talent, it was also too young and too thin. Many players were under the age of 23, and the few experienced ones were being overworked. Flick was managing a technically gifted core, but in a season full of injuries, fixture congestion, and high-pressure matches, talent alone wouldn't carry them. What they needed were reliable substitutes, players who could maintain the team's level of play without disruption. The first sign of this depth issue, they noted, was on the left wing. Rafinha had an exceptional season, improving both his decision-making and defensive work rate. He contributed significantly during both La Liga and Champions League campaigns. However, when he was fatigued, there was no natural replacement. Ferran Torres, while hardworking, lacked the explosive dribbling and creativity required in tight European matches. During the crucial moments against Inter, when Rafinha was visibly exhausted, there was no one on the bench who could replicate his impact. Barcelona stalled and their momentum faded. This vulnerability had not gone unnoticed. Reports soon emerged linking the club with players like Luis Diaz and Marcus Rashford. Analysts believed that both offered what Barcelona lacked: relentless energy, one-on-one ability, and versatility. These were not marquee signings for headlines. They were solutions to a tactical void exposed under pressure. But the issue extended beyond the left wing. On the opposite flank, Barcelona was relying heavily on 17-year-old Lamine Yamal. Despite his age, Yamal was performing with the maturity of a veteran, regularly making the difference in big matches. Still, relying so heavily on a teenager was risky. What if he got injured? Who would replace his unique rhythm and creativity? To solve this, observers recommended Ryan Cherki as a potential reinforcement. Cherki's ball control, vision, and versatility made him an ideal candidate to either support Yamal or play alongside him. Unlike many backup options, Cherki wouldn't significantly reduce the team's attacking quality and would even offer a different style, drifting centrally and unlocking tight defenses. The fullback positions, especially left back, also raised concerns. Alejandro Balde had been instrumental under Flick, providing width, energy, and balance. However, when Balde was unavailable, Barcelona's left side became predictable. Gerard Martin, his backup, was defensively solid but lacked Balde's explosiveness. A better alternative, some suggested, could be Lewis Hall from Newcastle, a young, high-energy fullback with a similar profile who wouldn't disrupt the system if rotated in. The problem wasn't limited to the wings and fullbacks. Central defense posed an even greater risk, particularly with Ronald Araujo's future uncertain. Flick had been working with a solid starting duo, Íñigo Martínez and Pau Cubarsí, Cubarsí, though just 17, had proven remarkably composed, while Martinez brought experience and aerial dominance, but beyond them, depth was fragile. Jules Koundé was often used as a right back, and Andreas Christensen had become injury-prone. If Araujo were sold, a likely scenario given financial pressures, Barcelona would need a proper replacement. Flick's preference, analysts noted, seemed to be for a modern, physically dominant, ball-playing center back. Jonathan Tah was once linked, but a more realistic option might be Gonzalo Inacio of Sporting CP. Inacio was young, versatile, and skilled at playing out from the back, fitting perfectly into Flick's proactive defensive style. In conclusion, while Barcelona had achieved domestic success, their limitations in squad depth were clear. Flick had inherited a talented but vulnerable group. Without reinforcements in key areas, left wing, right wing, left back, and center back, the club would struggle to compete on all fronts. Whether Barcelona could aim for European glory next season would depend on whether they address these weaknesses in time. I was Matt. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.